How can we put an end to Islamic terrorism? You might suggest we should use direct military action. Or perhaps you'd suggest we're better off trying to undermine the terrorist organizations with the public in their home countries. Those are both reasonable suggestions, but American journalist Christopher Dickey had a very different idea. David Wood has invited Christians to re-upload his videos before he deletes his channel.
Videos that are still good can be reposted. In fact, feel free to download and repost any of my videos.
In one of my all-time favorite videos of his, he explains Dickey's bizarre theory. Be sure to stay tuned for a special announcement after David's video.
I'm willing to lay this down as a rule. If reporters can't even mention your religion without feeling compelled to vigorously insist that it has nothing to do with terrorism, your religion probably has something to do with terrorism. I don't think I've ever heard the words, Hinduism is a religion of peace, but I apparently need to be reminded on an hourly basis that Islam is a religion of peace. These hourly reminders make the mainstream media seem like the world's most predictable cuckoo clock in more ways than one. The irony is that by having to constantly assure us that Islam is no different from other religions, our news networks are indirectly and faint-heartedly acknowledging that Islam is very, very different from other religions. But prepare to have your minds blown by the soothing winds of monotony as CNN pinky swears yet again that Islam has nothing to do with terrorism. Here's Brooke Baldwin interviewing Christopher Dickey, foreign editor of the Daily Beast, about Muslims traveling to the Middle East to wage jihad.
We were just talking, as you were watching the piece, these young men saying they're converting to Islam, they want to wage this war, and you were almost rolling your eyes.
Well, I was rolling my eyes. Look, all this stuff about the Quran and about Islam from those kinds of guys, it's crap.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Dickey wipes away 14 centuries of jihad with a CNN double whammy, the eye roll and it's crap.
It's crap.
Say what?
It's crap.
Come again?
It's crap.
Huh?
It's crap.
Huh?
It's crap.
77 years ago.
It's crap.
The noble Brutus hath told you.
It's crap.
Moreover.
It's crap.
And furthermore.
It's crap.
Eloquence, thy name is Christopher Dickey. Too bad Mr. Dickey's eye roll wasn't there to save all those journalists from getting their heads chopped off or all those Yazidi girls from being raped dozens of times a day. But if CNN's new eye roll campaign is half as effective against ISIS as the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag campaign was against Boko Haram, nothing will change and we'll all forget about it in a few weeks. Until then, people like Christopher Dickey can feel like they're making a difference by rolling their eyes at jihadists. It's like waterboarding, but without the slightest possibility of accomplishing anything. Maybe the military can invent a gun that shoots eye rolls, at least until the Obama administration comes out with its job ray. And just when ISIS is reeling from a barrage of eye rolls, Mr. Dickey can blast them with,
it's crap.
Let's see what other golden arrows Mr. Dickey has in his quiver of persuasion.
What they're talking about is, I want to be famous.
They want fame? Now I get it. These young guys turn to jihad in order to get their pictures on the Daily Beast and CNN. So the real cause of jihad, according to the Daily Beast and CNN, is the Daily Beast and CNN giving jihadists the fame they crave. I'm not quite sure how to criticize a guy who throws himself under the bus, but I'll start with this. While you can get famous by becoming a suicide bomber, you won't be able to enjoy it very much. So why not just sign up for American Idol or make a video of yourself eating Mentos and chugging a bottle of Diet Coke, or deny reality so often that you get a job as a CNN anchor or as foreign editor of the Daily Beast. You don't need to wage jihad to become famous. And even if you decide to seek fame by killing people, you don't need to join a terrorist group. You can just start shooting people. You'll get famous. So why jihad? Apart from that, aren't there people in all religions who want to be famous? Why is there only one religion where the preferred method of winning fame is blowing yourself up or chopping off heads? If it has nothing to do with religion, why is it far more common among adherents of this one religion? Back to Mr. Dickey for the answer.
Almost all terrorists, in fact, share certain things in common, and that doesn't Islam is not one of the things they share. It was true of some in the Irish Republican Army, it's been true in Central America, it's been true in lots of places.
If you're ever listening to someone like Mr. Dickey and you think there might be something wrong with his reasoning, but you're not quite sure what's wrong with it, a good way to know if there's a problem is to repeat the reasoning, keeping the same structure, but replacing the ingredients with other ingredients. So Mr. Dickey's claim is, terrorism can't have anything to do with Islam because not all terrorists are Muslims. Keep the structure, change the ingredients. Nazis killing Jews can't have anything to do with Nazi ideology because other people have killed Jews too. Car accidents can't have anything to do with drunk driving because car accidents can be caused by other things too. Lung cancer can't have anything to do with smoking because other things can lead to lung cancer. My hand can't have anything to do with this pencil moving because other things can move pencils. See a problem? Yes, there are multiple things that can cause pencils to move and cause lung cancer and cause car accidents and cause violence against Jews and cause terrorism. But among the things that cause them are my hand, smoking, drunk driving, Nazi ideology, and Islam, respectively. Mr. Dickey's logic here is so atrocious that if it were used in defense of anything else, say drunk driving, he'd be laughed off the network, even a network as gullible and witless as CNN. But since the topic is Islam, everyone starts playing a sick game of keep away with their own reasoning ability, ultimately leaving us with the silliest explanation of terrorism since the last time CNN tried to explain terrorism. Here are the 3 shared features of jihadists, according to Mr. Dickey.
So what
What
they
are
share?
those things? TNT, basically. Testosterone. They're almost all young guys. Some of these guys may be a little bit older. Narrative. That's very important. They may not be oppressed. They may not have grown up oppressed, but they passionately identify themselves with some oppressed people. Maybe their own, maybe somebody else's. And finally, theater. They want to project themselves on the world stage.
They want this fame.
They want this fame. They want to carry out spectacular acts, whether it's 9/11 or the beheading of an American journalist.
That's an excellent explanation, unless you like to think. If you like to think, you might point out that Mr. Dickey just said that Islam can't have anything to do with terrorism because not all terrorists are Muslims. But then he turns right around and says that testosterone has something to do with terrorism, even though not all terrorists are men. Samantha Luthwaite, aka the White Widow, and Colleen LaRose, aka Jihad Jane, and the 60 British women and girls who've joined ISIS, these ladies got 99 problems, but testosterone ain't one. So why do they support terrorism? Mr. Dickey doesn't say. But there's a bigger problem here. Let's pretend that all terrorists share the features that Mr. Dickey lists. They all are overwhelmed by hormones. They all identify themselves with some oppressed group. They all want to project themselves onto the world stage. Now we have to ask, aren't there tons of people from other religions and belief systems who have these exact same features? Don't Jews and Buddhists and atheists go through the same hormone changes that Muslims go through? Don't Christians identify themselves with oppressed Christians? Globally, roughly 80% of all religious-based persecution is directed towards Christians. Wouldn't that give us plenty of oppressed people to identify with? Aren't there millions of non-Muslim youth out there who want to project themselves onto the world stage? If Mr. Dickey's right about his recipe for terrorism, shouldn't we see Christians and Jews and Hindus and Buddhists and atheists quitting their jobs, quitting school, leaving their families, and jumping on the next plane to become part of global campaigns to behead infidels and rape captives? That's what we should see if Mr. Dickey has any clue what he's talking about, but that's not what we see. We see adherents of one particular religion reacting very differently to the 3 features Mr. Dickey describes. And until he explains why the Muslim reaction is so different, he hasn't explained why Muslims are traveling to the Middle East to wage jihad. But that's precisely what he's supposed to be explaining in this interview. Thanks for wasting our time yet again, CNN. I guess all we can do now is salute Mr. Dickey and CNN with this masterpiece.
It's crap.
It doesn't matter what you think about Act 17 leaving YouTube. One thing is clear. The 13-year catalog will soon be deleted. David has explained that he can't leave the videos up lest they continue to collect strikes and lead to him being permanently banned in his absence. But there's nothing that says the videos have to stay deleted. By popular demand, I've decided to launch a new channel called The David Wood Archives. I have downloaded all 1,547 of David's videos, complete with the title, thumbnail, and description. Shortly, I'll begin re-uploading these on the new Archives channel. You aren't going to want to miss a single video as we relive David's amazing YouTube career. So click here to subscribe to the channel, or click here for further explanation. Then click here to watch David's classic video explaining the 99-1 rule.